Yo, 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 yo. Welcome to another episode of Empire Jeff TV. I'm your host, Empire Jeff, coming to you on a Friday night live from Los Angeles, California. Hope everyone's having a great night. We're here to talk some Dodger baseball, some Dodger offseason rumors. Kind of a little surprising one earlier today. Little rumor that kind of came across the wire. It's not widely reported, but it's out there. And the report on it is actually kind of true from the standpoint that it's basing the report off of. So we're going to touch on that. We talked about, some stuff last night. This is my first back-to-back stream in a minute and a half. So 3 streams since, I think, Monday or Tuesday. Whatever. It's 3 streams this week. All right, whatever. So I'm doing my best to kind of get back up to streaming regularly. Still hitting you guys with those clips daily, multiple clips a day. But I'm trying to get up here and do more live streams. And put in the grind a little more, man. It's been tough on my schedule, but we're here tonight. Like I said, hope everyone had a great Friday. Hope everyone's still enjoying those replays of the Dodgers World Series victory and all that comes with that. We talked Miggy Rowe. We talked Teoscar Hernandez yesterday. We talked a whole lot of things yesterday. But one of the things that we were kind of talking about yesterday and in the previous shows were we were talking about Murakami and how where is he going to end up, because it's not going to be LA. It's not going to be LA. That's what the assumption was. That's what the reporting was. I hadn't heard anything to the contrary. I hadn't heard anything that the Dodgers are in or the Dodgers are kind of lurking. I hadn't heard any of that. The only thing I had heard or kind of seen was that Yoshi had been hanging out with them. But you have a fellow countryman, Team Japan guy coming over. You're his vet essentially of being a guy that's already came over here. You're kind of showing him the ropes, showing him what it is and all that. So that wasn't a surprise to see him. And I think you'll see that even if it's players that the Dodgers don't land who come over from Japan. I think you're going to see Yoshi or maybe Ohtani or whoever they get still kind of showing these guys the ropes, kind of being the welcome wagon, introducing them to United States or Major League Baseball, just taking care of the country, man, just kind of being a big, a good big homie, a good vet. And on the Murakami front, it just always felt like and sounded like the Dodgers just weren't going to be in on him. They picked up the option on Muncy. They've got Freeland potentially waiting in the wing. There's potential talk about a trade for Corey Seager maybe. But you got this, 25-year-old Japanese phenom who gets out there and just hits bombs and with exit velocities that make you turn your head and but also strikeouts and swing and miss that make you turn your head as well. So it's going to be interesting development to see if the Dodgers actually end up being in on him. And if they get him, that would be somewhat of a shock to me. I know there's some people who believe that that they're going to get him, or they just believe any top Japanese player that comes over is going to naturally be a Dodger. I don't subscribe to that. I think there's going to be the ones they don't get. I think there's going to be the ones that they want, and they probably can get most of the ones they want. And there's going to be the ones they don't have a lot of interest in, which I thought was Murakami and Ima and some of these other ones that they really weren't going all in on. Allegedly, I'm going to say that. So interesting developments today. Was Arash Makazi from the I forget what he's with now, but he put out there that the Dodgers are now the favorites to land him. But the favorite is different. Like usually you have front office insiders, or you have, guys talking about they're talking to teams, talking to agents, talking to other players. And it's usually like, these other organizations or executives believe that the Dodgers are the favorite to get him. This isn't the case. The Dodgers are the betting odds favorite to get him. So someone with a lot of money believes that he's going to be a Dodger. And Vegas doesn't really bet off, those lines and those wages don't really come up off emotion. Someone with money really believes that and is putting money on that, and a large amount of it. So who that person is, I don't know. Is it a hunch? Is it reckless gambling? I mean, I don't know, but I don't know how serious the Dodgers are involved in him. I don't know if anything has even been discussed. Like, I have no idea, because I can tell you this: when it was Shohei Ohtani, when it was Yoshinobu Yamamoto, when it was Roki Sasaki, like I'd been talking about that for years and saying that, yeah, they're getting those guys. Like I was pretty much convinced that they were getting those 3. I've never been convinced that they're getting Murakami. I just never have been convinced that they were getting him. And I'm still not convinced now, even with that report. But I got to tell you, the betting favorite means that someone knows or thinks something and is putting a whole lot of money on that. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Did that kind of, or the chat, did that kind of take you by surprise today like it did me? Or have you kind of always been like, yeah, he's a Japanese guy and it's the Dodgers and you got Shohei and Yoshi and Roki, you got all these guys over here already, and that guy just watched them all at the end of game 3. Shohei run to the bullpen and link up with his countrymen and translators and start jumping around, having a good old time. And he's like, I want to be part of that. Maybe he's willing to come on a shorter deal or a smaller number deal to be part of that. Let's not forget, Roki Sasaki came over here at age 23, far going and punting on staying a couple more years and potentially coming over for some Yamamoto money. He punted on all that for 6 years in the major league before he can get paid. And that is not normal. That is not normal. So did he kind of kick off a trend here with that? Did he do that? Because Ohtani kind of did that a little bit too. Did he kick off a trend there? I mean, we'll see. But I don't know the number he's going to get. I've seen ranges anywhere from 120 million to 240 million. So the medium in there is 180 million dollars, right? 180 million dollars from anywhere from 6 to 8 years. Now, I don't know what his number is. I don't know what teams, what they're looking at him for. Like if there's a team, like he's got the pop, he's got the power, but he has been striking out a whole lot of late, a whole lot of swing and miss. He's had some injuries of late. He's not great defensively. How will that translate over to Major League Baseball in the United States? These are the things that you have to really weigh. Now, I believe it will transfer. The power will transfer. I believe he will hit bombs. I think he's a career 270 hitter. He's got a whole bunch of RBIs. He's had a whole bunch of homers over there. He's won a Triple Crown. He's done a lot of great things. Now we got to see if that can translate over, and he's going to get paid a whole lot of money coming over here initially off top. And we'll see how that translates. Let me hit this Pacifico real quick. We'll see how that translates to Major League Baseball. And I think, like I said, the bombs will transfer. If that swing and miss transfers and he's going against better pitching, then he can go from a career 270 hitter in Japan to a 230 or sub 230 hitter in Major League Baseball rather quickly. So we're going to have to wait and see how he comes over here. And do the Dodgers take the approach of kind of, is he open to kind of going through the ropes a little bit, going through the chain here? Muncy's got 1 year left. Is he open to kind of doing some split duty? Is he open to going, playing some first, playing some third, sitting out if he's paid, or if he's taking less money, is he willing to take a little less money and come off a bench for a year or so? Like, is he willing to do that? I don't know. And no one I've talked to knows. I reached out immediately when I saw that report and asked, like, yo, has something changed? Like, because everything I had heard was that the Dodgers really weren't going crazy after him. And there hasn't been a lot of like discussion of the Dodgers, like, going back and forth with him or being locked in on him or whatever it is. And the answer I got was, well, if they think they already, like, if they think they have him, or if then the players kind of do the talking for him, then maybe they already know something and there's just no negotiation yet. Like, they're just feeling it out. Like, but I don't know if he's, in the plans for the Dodgers or not. But that report was interesting, being that, the odds-on favorite betting-wise to get him. And it's going to be a very, very interesting decision where he lands. Because, you could have probably the typical players, right? The Dodgers, the Yankees, Red Sox, Mets, Mariners, Angels. Padres don't have the money. I don't say that disrespectfully, but I don't see them being able to, put out somewhere from, 150 something million dollars for this kid. I don't see that happening. So, per usual suspects when it comes down to the Japanese phenoms that come over. And last year, when we knew Roki Sasaki was pretty much going to be a Dodger no matter what, and we pretty much knew that money wasn't going to be the deciding factor because he was coming over so young, and we knew that. We didn't necessarily know the number that Yamamoto was going to get. Everyone thought it was going to be around 250. Then that started getting up 275, 280, up to 1 million above Garrett Cole, and the Dodgers got him. And so Initially you're hearing Murakami was 120, 140. Then we were hearing 140, 180. And like I said, I've heard as high as $240 million if there is indeed a bidding war, which we don't know if there will be. We don't know if there will be. We don't know if he's got a large market. We don't know what teams are looking to do with international talent heading into a potential lockout. The lockout looming could affect bidding wars, could affect some teams being involved here. It really, really could. And, just have no idea where he's going to land. And when you look at the money, they gave $700 million to Shohei, $326 to Yoshinobu Yamamoto. It's not out of the realm of possibility that he can get high 100s. It's not. I mean, I think you guys really need to really go look up his resume, a body of work of the work in which he has done. All right. He's 25 years old. Okay. He's been playing professionally for about 8 seasons now. Okay. He's got 246 career home runs, 270 career batting average. In 2022, he had that monster season where he hit 56 home runs, won the Triple Crown. If I'm not tripping, I think that's the most a Japanese-born player has ever hit over there. Okay, now he's suffered some injuries since then. He has. But he only played 56 games last season, and he had 22 home runs. So the pop is still there. It is definitely still there. That's just going to be about the MLB transition. And is he going to be a third baseman? Is he going to be a first baseman? He's not great defensively at either, but which one is he going to be? Which one is he going to be? But like I said, a guy who wins a Triple Crown in a league as good as the one he's coming over from, you have to think that that's going to be able to translate over to Major League Baseball. Power, for sure, is going to be able to translate over to Major League Baseball. And again, it's going to come down to what does that number look like. Now, what got me really thinking is what I was saying, how are the Dodgers the betting favorite when they've never been linked to him? They were like the name has because of the Japanese part, but the Vegas odds just don't really move without smoke. There's got to be smoke, before there's fire. And Vegas doesn't really have odds like that unless there's some smoke. And like I said, bets aren't really emotional like that when it's an actual favorite. And if the Dodgers are suddenly the odds-on favorite, that means money is coming in from somewhere people who strongly believe that he's going to LA and they have a lot of money. And someone knows something. Someone knows something for the money to move like that. And odds shift later on in free agency, typically when front offices go a little quiet, get a little silent, which is usually kind of when the deals get done. But the fact that there's odds moving without any real leaks is unique. Like I said, someone might know something. And I don't know. We don't know. But this was a little bit of a surprising report to me when it first came out, because I was like, yo, this is pretty interesting, man. This is definitely pretty interesting because we had heard pretty much nonstop that this was not going to be the case. It was prepare yourself. The Dodgers really aren't going to go after him. They kind of came out the gate early. Yeah. Forget, nothing to see here. The Dodgers are really not going after him. It's not going to happen. Do you guys remember early on in the Yamamoto sweepstakes? I'm trying to see if you guys remember this. Early on in the Yamamoto sweepstake, and I believe this was actually at the winter meetings. When everyone was like, Yamamoto sounds like he's going to the Giants. Is what the rumor was at the GM meetings in 2023. A lot of people believe that. A lot of people thought that was what was going to happen. And it didn't happen. It didn't happen, right? There's a lot of people who really thought that Yamamoto was going to be a Giant during the winter meetings of 2023. Then after the winter meetings, he came back without a deal being done with the Giants. And then it started to be like, okay, here come the Yankees. Here comes the old evil empire. Remember those guys? The throwback evil empire, man. Dust that off. The throwback, the vintage evil empire is coming for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Vintage It was like the Imperial March, but it had scratches from the records, like dan, 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 dan. Right? It had like an old record. Like someone found an old record of the old evil empire, the New York Yankees of old. Your grandpa's New York Yankees were coming for Yoshinobu Yamamoto. Dan, dan, dan. That's what it was, right? And then little birdies, little blue birds, and I'm not talking about blue jays, little birds started saying, no. They started matumboing it. And then what I had heard, and I got the receipts for all this because I did videos on this. I did videos on this way before it happened. I got the receipts on this. I started hearing the Yankees are starting to get afraid. The Yankees are starting to get nervous. The Dodgers are making the Yankees nervous over Yoshinobu Yamamoto. And I said, how? How could the Los Angeles Dodgers make the big bad New York Yankees scared? How? And they're afraid he's going to pay too much. They're going to pay too much. He's going to get paid too much. And I'm like, how? And they were trying to tell me without telling me. And I'm like, pay too much. Like, why do you keep saying that? The Yankees got money. And they're like, everyone has a limit. And there's a line for everyone. So I looked at the books. And I was like, oh. They got to top Garrett Cole, and the Yankees won't go over that. And they're like, bang. I'm like, okay, 330. They're really going to do 1 mil over. They're really going to do that. I didn't know that was going to be it. I'm asking. I thought it would be like 330, right? And I must have did 3 straight nights in a row where I was like, so I'm like, oh, first it was the Giants, then it was the big, bad, vintage, throwback, evil empire. And now, here comes the new, big, badass, blue, evil empire in high def, no scratching of the record, no vintage, dun, 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 like loud as shit. You could hear this. You could hear this from Burbank to the Bronx. It wasn't the Yankees are coming. It was the Dodgers are coming. The Dodgers are coming. Those dudes, them bums of Brooklyn. Remember they called them the bums? The bums who went from Brooklyn to LA. Here they come with their $326 million and said, give me that. And snatched Yoshinobu Yamamoto straight out of pinstripes. Before he could ever dawn him. How had Yoshi come to the Hamptons? Flew him out, hung out, did everything he could. Yoshi's like, still cold. Still cold. I've been to LA twice in November. I was at the beach, bro. I was at the beach in November. What you talking though? What you talking about? What's this math like? What's this math like? Probably sat back, drank a couple Sapporos. Went back and forth in the house, probably like, yo, veterans are important. Garrett Cole is our guy. He's our vet. He's our leader. He's our top pitcher. He's gonna teach you things you haven't even thought of yet. And as a result of that, we're gonna pay you, but we're gonna pay you just a little less than what our ace makes. Because he's our current ace. You would be our future ace. And this dude said, brother, I'm the ace right now. Right now. Pay me. Pay me more than your ace. Pay me more than your ace. Yankees couldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. Dun, 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 dun. Here come the Dodgers. Swooped in $326 million. Give me that. Got it done. And again, Giants, Yankees, Dodgers is the path. Now, maybe, just maybe, we've been hearing Murakami's not the Dodgers, not the Dodgers, not the Dodgers. Oh my God. If he ends up a Dodger, but I don't even know. Look, like I'm not over here saying, "Oh my God, this is game changing." Like I don't even know. Like I have to unpack this because I've been thinking all offseason this wasn't possible. I don't even know if I believe this. But I'm saying we've seen this movie before. We've seen this live and live in color. We've seen it. We have seen it, and we might see it again. We might see it again. And if Murakami's like 200 is the floor, and teams are like 180, 170, you know, things can get crazy. But we've seen this before, and he was linked to the Dodgers purely because he's from Japan. But he wasn't favored from a report standpoint or a sourcing standpoint or nothing. But this report today that he is the odds-on favorite, and people who have a lot of money believe that this is the case. Someone knows something. Someone knows something. And what comes out of that, I don't know. And we're going to touch on some things as to why the Dodgers might do this. We're going to touch on this. I'm going to get to some of your comments real quick and kind of get back to talking to myself here. Right? I'm going to get to your chats right now. But it is very interesting how this came out today. Very, very interesting. And maybe there's some gamesmanship going on here, but we will see. Thank y'all for tuning in. Once again, I am Empire Jeff. This is Empire Jeff TV. Make sure to drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. You can also become a member to the channel. I'm going live more often now. I'm not being as lazy. I'm making some time to do this, so I'd appreciate y'all. Shout out to all those who are members already. But bottom line, all you got to do is drop a like on the video. If you're watching on Twitter X, make sure to like the video, share the video, put it out there into the Twitter X universe. Let's help shed this gospel over here, man. In the meantime, in between time, get your MLB, NBA, NFL gear, and more. Make sure to use our link at Fanatics to get special discounts on your purchase. It's also a great way to help support the channel. We have partnered with the good people at Fanatics, so when you order through them via us, they take care of us because we sent you that way. You get the same gear you love anyways, the same memorabilia, the same championship gear, the same Laker gear, your same NFL gear, your same MLS gear, whatever you rock, they got. Use our link to get your merch, get your Christmas presents, get your championship gear, whatever it may be. Tap that link. Help support the channel. We would appreciate it. Don't care what's going on, brother. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that like button. Subscribe for Empire Jeff TV. Appreciate that. Absolutely. Roy, what's going on, brother? Salute to you. Yes, Dodgers. Let's go. Don't care says, is there even a role or a spot for Murakami? So that's what I want to talk about. I'm gonna go deep into that in a second. Yeah, I'm gonna go deep. I was gonna drop a pause there, but I don't need to. I'm a grown ass man. Let's see. I'm more to having dinner meets with Mark. Yeah, so that I didn't really look too much into because, like I said, that's just dude being a big homie, welcoming his countryman over to a new country. Just kind of helping him out, right? I didn't, I think he's gonna do that for guys who don't play for the Dodgers as well. But he is with them. He's been with them. Murakami only on short prove it contract. He wants to be a Dodger, and Dodgers want him to prove that he belongs. If not, no deal. Okay, we're gonna talk on that. Appreciate you again. Search the mod god, the god of mod, the mod father. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for tuning in. The best in the business. Love you, man. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you tuning in as always and supporting me, man. Thank you. Nada, what's going on? I know Twins are killing any bucks in trade talks, so what's next? Well, they should be doing that because let's say there are trade talks, or let's say there have been already, and they're not really getting the best offers because Buxton has all the leverage there, and I think they're trying to take some of that leverage away. So if Buxton says, look, I want to be traded, and I'm only going to waive my no trade clause to go to the Dodgers. Now, teams don't like that because you're not giving us an avenue to negotiate here. So they'll typically be like, look, give us 3 teams, 4. We would love 4, but we'll settle for 3. And that way we can at least have some negotiations here. No, don't say, I want to be traded. I only want to go to this team, because then you lessen what we can get for you. So it's going to be a little bit of a standoff there. But let me tell you this, though. Nando. There's no way that Byron Buxton report came out. Basically, and via the Athletic too. They're well sourced. It's not Bleacher Report or one of the ones that like go wild with and just go all the way up the deep end. It's not a Twitter report like by someone. This is the Athletic. These are accredited people who have to like double or triple confirm something before they put it out there. This isn't just loose talk. This is real journalism. There's not many avenues for that anymore, but the Athletic is one of them. So the fact that this came from the Athletic means that this is a pretty solid report. They spoke to someone pretty involved in those talks for that. And for that to come out means that someone wants that out there from the side of Buxton getting moved. All right. That's a signal to teams to come get me. All right. So the fact that came out, there's some smoke there. Now, that would be the guy I would want. That would be the guy. Like that would be like one of the probably top outfielder on my list would be him. Let's see. Can we talk about? Not sure what you mean by that. What you trying to talk about? What are we talking about again? Were you trolling here? You trolling? Come on, man. Okay. My business. I think the Blue Jays are going to be hard to beat in the East. The Blue Jays are going to be very good again. They're going to be good, but they got to stay healthy. And here's the thing. The Blue Jays went from being the hunters, they went from being the hunters to being the hunted, right? So making the World Series, getting to Game 7 of the World Series, having a chance to win the World Series, they're going to be hunting now. Teams are going to see them coming. They're not going to slip up or catch people slipping anymore. Also, the Blue Jays, let's not act like they had a monster season last year. They got hot and rode a playoff run, but that happens in baseball. Are they going to be able to put together a really, really strong regular season? Because there are graveyards full of teams who went to the World Series, competed, and never made it back. There are baseball graveyards full of this. And the Blue Jays are looking and hoping to not help fill any more of those spots there. Chris, what's going on, Chris? Empire, you guys had a very, very good season, but since I'm a Yankee fan, I have a strong feeling we will whoop Dodgers in the 2026 season. I mean, look, the Yankees got bigger problems than the Dodgers right now. They got to worry about the Blue Jays in the East. They got to worry about the Red Sox coming up. They got more fish to fry than the Dodgers right now. They don't got to worry about the Dodgers until October if they get there. They got a lot of other things to worry about first. Lewis, what's going on, Lewis? What's good, my brother Jeff? What's going on, Lewis? Appreciate you, brother. Let's see. Sam says, love your channel from a Blue Jays fans. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. I love that you love the channel. Thank you. You're far too kind. Rand says, sign Murakami and have him DH on days Ohtani pitches. Yeah, well, I wouldn't mind someone DHing on days when Ohtani pitches, but I don't think that's going to happen. And two, like, he's not going to get enough at bats with that, right? So my thing is there's a world where you can make this work. It's a little creative. It's not really ideal, but we're going to touch on that in a second. I'm going to get through these comments here real quick, and then I can start ripping again on here. I think I skipped one here. My fault. Don't count on Blue Jays having 2 good years in a row. You will be surprised how many of them have. Yeah, so I just touched on that. We're on the same page, brother. Jeff, do you think the Blue Jays will be hard to beat in the East? Yeah, I think they're gonna. I think they'll be good again in the East for sure. I think they'll be good. Like, we got to see how these teams shape out though. It's not so much Dodgers want Murakami; it's Murakami wanting to be a Dodger. Team-friendly contract. Okay, I got it. I get you. He does, but. He probably wants to get paid though and secure his future though as well. The God moderator, absolutely. YouTube changed my name. I was search and destroy. The God moderator, got you. You still have your okay? Yeah, make sure you still have that wrench there. Okay. Let's see. Triple G, what's going on, man? Yankees broke. They ain't getting no free agents. Yankees aren't broke, man. Like we'll talk on that in a little bit too. The Yankees aren't broke. Matter of fact, let's talk on that right now, real quick. The Yankees are not broke. They've spent a lot of money. They offered a lot of money to Juan Soto. Like they've got a lot of money on their books. It's just Hal Steinbrenner isn't George Steinbrenner. He's running a business. He's not out there. He doesn't have that fire in his belly to compete like his father did. He just doesn't have that. He's operating this almost like a portfolio, like he's a Wall Street guy, right? He doesn't really have that fire in his belly to compete, to get out there and really go out and kick ass and spend at all costs to kick ass. He wants to win, but run a business and make money and make profits. And it's hard to do that when you are the New York Yankees. Sometimes you just got to just throw the money out there and go for it, right? You're going to make the money eventually, but he's running this like he's running the business for his family, right? You know, he's trying to make sure that, you know, the other shareholders in the business and everything's making the return. He's trying to be a good partner, but at the same time, you own the New York Yankees. You own the New York Yankees. If you own the New York Yankees, if you own the LA Dodgers, if you own the Los Angeles Lakers, the Boston Celtics, the San Francisco 49ers, the Dallas Cowboys, on and on and on and on and on. These franchises that have these nations, not just their local fan bases, these nations of people that follow them, travel for them, are all in on them, spend their life savings on them. Like, you owe them. You have a responsibility with that. You truly do. Now, they may not see it that way, but they truly do have a responsibility to put the proper product on the field, the diamond, the turf, whatever it is, the court of any of those franchises. You have an obligation to that dedicated ass fan base to compete. It's not realistic to expect the franchise to win every single year, which is why people were like, oh, if you don't win, it's a wasted season. That's not true. If you're the favorite and you lose, it's a wasted season. But if you're on the come up, if you're a team that's like a fringe playoff team and you go a round or two and you overachieve, that is not a wasted season. You are on your way. You are on your way. You're not going to win every year. The goal is to compete as much as you can every year, and then get one every couple of years. That's the real goal. No one in the modern era of sports is going to ever win every year. You're not going to see a 8 out of 10 years like the Yankees and Celtics did back when they played with twigs and, you know what I mean? 2 rounds of baseball and 8 teams in the NBA. Like, you're never going to see that type of dominance again. You'll see the type of dominance in a 2-3 year span, but you're never going to see a team win 8 of 10 years, 9 of 10 years, 7 in a row. That's just not going to happen. So you mean to tell me that if you win 3 championships in 5 years, that those 2 years are a failure? Nah, man, let's be real. Let's be realistic. Now, the problem with the Yankees is they've won 1 championship this century. This century, the Dodgers have 3, and I believe the Red Sox have 4 since 2000. The Yankees have 1. Those are the Yankees' 2 prime rivals, the rivals in the American League and the rival in the National League. And they're both waxing them right now, this century. That's the problem. They've won 1 World Series in 25 years. They've been to 1 World Series in 15 years. So you got a lot of genie bus-ish situation with Hal Steinbrenner in the Bronx. It's what it is. It's what it is. We know what it's like. We've got that going on over here. We got it going on over here. Appreciate you, Stacy. Search says 240 mil. That's insane. Yeah, I hear you, man. But you are worth what someone pays you, brother. You are worth what someone pays you. I did not hear Giants. Heard the 2 New York teams. Yeah, go. Are you talking about Yamamoto? Go back and watch all the coverage from the winter meetings in 2023. Go back and watch it. Promise you. Giants were the favorites in the winter meetings in 2023. Yankees gave him a jersey, and Cohen had him over his house for dinner. Yep. Had him at his house, brought him back a second time, took him to the Hamptons. Yoshi, all the free meals, then sign with the Dodgers. just like Roki did with the Padres. Anthony says, Dodgers have geographic advantage with Japanese players, being that LA is a little closer to Japan. Yeah, I mean, you got to take any advantage you can get. Lakers, Dodgers for life. What's up, brother? Appreciate you, man. You think there's any truth to the Yankees trying to stay under 300 million payroll? It makes you wonder after Steinbrenner came out crying about us. So I kind of just touched on that. I think he's, man. The Yankees better pray. Well, the Yankee fans better pray that the Yankees organization don't look at retaining Trent Grisham and Cody Bellinger as a rock star offseason. Bringing back the guys that you already had when they're not the top free agent in the sport is not a win. You're expected to do that. You're expected to be able to keep your own guys if they're good, and you're the Yankees. No, you need to bring back what you had and add. You need to add. You need to bring back Grisham. You need to bring back Cody Bellinger. And you need to go get a Skubal or a Cease. That's too late, but that's what it is. You needed to bring those guys back and add. Not bring those two back, run them out there at a press conference and act like you just won the offseason. It's not that. That's not that. You can't do that. So if I'm a Yankee fan, I am praying if I'm a Yankee fan, that their end game is that let's just re-sign our old guys and parade them out there in front of the press conference and act like we just won the offseason. Oh, man. Because I'm telling you right now, WFAN, DePaul, all them boys are going to be coming for y'all. They're going to be coming for y'all if that's the case. They will. Real Jackson says 3-peat, 4-peat. Yeah, that'd be crazy, man. Blue Jays played very tough. Much respect, but they lost. We won. We get to celebrate all offseason. Buxton getting traded for real. I don't know if it's for real, like it's going to happen, but I think where there's smoke, there is some fire for sure. What's going on, Max? Appreciate you. Thank you. Thanks for contributing here. What's your thoughts on Dodgers doing what's best? Moving Teo to left and Pages to right and getting Belly to center, then having a platoon of players. So that's a subject that has some moving parts to it. Okay. You have this thing where everyone believes that Teo is better in left than he is in right, and that's simply not true. No defensive metric shows that Teo is better in left than right. What happened with Teo last year is a groin and a hamstring injury to where he couldn't cut off line drives or he just couldn't run. That would have happened in left field too. Teo was hurt last year. It hurt his offense and it hurt his already kind of weak defense. Not kind of, weak defense. People have that throw out Stanton in the World Series thinking that he's his gold glove left fielder or something, or he's just so much better in left than he is in right, and it's simply not the case. However, having said that, I do think that Andy Pages could be elite in right. I don't believe he'll ever be elite in center, but he could be elite in right. And maybe if Teo's bad in left and right, and maybe if he's worse in left than in right, but you put him in left, but you put a guy in center field who can be elite to borderline elite, and put someone in right who's elite. Okay, I could see that. Now, whether that's a Buxton or a Bellinger, I don't know. But it's possible. It's possible, but I think it's unlikely. I still think it ends up some type of way where Teo stays in right field, someone is in left, and Pages potentially starts the year in center field if there's not some type of trade to get a Buxton or something like that. Even if you get a Steven Kwan, Pages is still in center because Kwan is not a center fielder or not a right fielder. He's a left fielder. So Bellinger, Bellinger makes sense if you want to have two potential elite level outfielders with Teo in the outfield. Because right now they don't have any elite. Not with Pages in center. Pages in right has a chance to be elite, not in center. So we'll see. We'll see. I believe that Bellinger ends up back with the Yankees. Rand says, sign Murakami and have him sit for a year and force him to work on getting better on defense and less strikeouts. The problem is I'm going to touch on this. Let me finish these. I'm going to go deeper on that. Hold on. They're not going for Diaz, but Suarez or Jansen to make Scott get back to being better in 2026. I think that Scott's going to be better anyways, but I think Scott's better as a setup guy than he is a closer. Dodgers the last 13, 14 years have won a lot. They have, and they're going to continue to win a lot. Jeff, you said century. You meant decade? No, century. How many of the Yankees won in the 2000s? They've only won one, right? 2009? No, I meant century. They've won one World Series since 2000, and they've only been to the World Series once since 2009. Unless I'm tripping, right? I think I got that right. No, I mean century. I mean of the 2000s. I do mean that. Assuming all starting pitchers are healthy, Stone and I'm not sure what you're saying. Big Yankee fans agree with you. Appreciate that, Edward. Look, I don't hate the Yankees. I don't dislike the Yankees. I watch a lot of their games. I love their legacy. I love their history. Those 27 chips are insane. I love Aaron Judge. There's a lot of, I mean, Derek Jeter's my favorite player of all time. Like, I don't dislike or hate the Yankees. I don't like where they're at as an organization right now. I think Hal needs to sell a portion of the team, kind of do what Jeannie Buss did. Get some pockets in there. Yankees owner sucks. Assuming all starting pitchers are healthy, any one of Stone and Ryan will start in the bullpen. Yeah, both those guys can be like, coming out of the bullpen or long. Really, we'll see. They're going to be on innings restrictions, and guys are going to be, out. So we'll see. Oh, did I say century? 100 years. Why? The century started in 2000, right? I think Roy is. I'm actually kind of getting confused. Right? The century started in 2000. That's a new century in 2000. Since 2000, the Yankees have won World Series and went to the World Series once in the last 15 years. But they've won one World Series since the start of 2000. If you're the Yankees, how do you not go all in and not build around Judge, who's not getting any younger? The evil empire is feeling. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they might have already missed that window there. Like, they should have been going all in on this. Aaron Judge is going to go down as one of the greatest players ever to potentially never win and only go to maybe one World Series. Craig, what's going on, man? Appreciate you. Baseball needs a salary cap. I don't believe they need a salary cap. I believe they need better owners across the sport. Roy, I was like, what? Am I confused? Like, what is going on here? But yeah, I mean, since the century, I'm not saying from 1925 to 2025. I'm saying from the turn of the century, from 2000 to 2025, the Yankees have one World Series win. And the Dodgers have 3, the Red Sox have 4, and the Yankees have only been to the World Series twice since 2000 and been to the World Series once in the last 15 years. So that's the math I'm really talking about. I'm trying to get us on the same page here, brother. But all right, so let's get back to something real quick. Let's get back to potentially why the Dodgers might sign Murakami, why they might do it, even though all offseason we didn't think they would. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. One, the Dodgers have the money. They have the money. They have the money to spend on shit they don't necessarily need, but could be part of the next 10 years. So we're sitting back thinking, like, who are they going to sign when Mookie and Freddie and Glasnow, these guys kind of start to age up. But if you get a guy now who's 25 years old, he's here through the remainder of Ohtani's contract, the bulk of the remainder of Yamamoto's contract, now that starts to make a little sense. You get in early. Let's say this guy becomes a 40, 50 home run guy 3-4 years from now. And you've got him locked in already. Muncy gone, Freddie gone, Mookie aging. Now you got another bat there with Ohtani as Ohtani starts aging, 35 years old. When you start thinking about that, you can kind of see like the vision. It's not like a $500 million signing. It's not 400, 450. It's not Kyle Tucker money or what he's rumored to get. It's mid ones to low twos. So maybe. So you got like a big contract per se, but not franchise crippling. Like if you trade for Corey Seager or you sign Cody Bellinger, like those contracts would be in the hundreds. They're older. They're not going to hit bombs like him. So you start thinking about it. They've got some flexibility. They can structure the deal with deferrals, some opt-outs, performance escalators. Some things that other teams aren't really going to do. The Dodgers also really like young talent with upside. His age. He's already got like an MVP upside. He's won a triple crown over there. That's what they loved about Yamamoto on the pitching side. He won the pitching triple crown. He's got the power. He's going to hit bombs. He's going to hit RBIs. Is he going to be able to walk enough? Is he going to strike out less? Can he field? Is he a third or first baseman? Got to figure this out. Potential DH in the future. And it continues the Japanese pipeline. And now you got another guy who's on Rocky's timeline. When it comes down to Roki getting paid 5 years from now, you'd have a guy on his timeline. So these are all things you have to start to think about. Comfort matters. Culture matters. Familiarity matters. Winning matters. And why this might not be a need, it could be more of a luxury. It will be a need later. But this move right here is one that screams we're not playing around. We're here for now, for next, and forever. They're here forever. So when you start hearing leaks out of LA, a lot of stuff doesn't really start to happen. When they go silent is when things pop up. The Mookie Betts situation went silent. The Yamamoto went silent. Edmund trade, silent. All those dudes they were linked to, a lot of those didn't happen. So it's interesting timing, y'all. Very, very interesting timing. But I didn't put a lot of thought into this. A lot of this stuff is just coming off the top of my head while I'm doing this because I believed a lot of the reports and I believed a lot of the things that I was hearing that the Dodgers just don't seem to be overly interested in him because it's not a need for right now. But maybe I just misread the information. Maybe the right now thing is the part I should have been paying attention to. Maybe he's not a priority right now, but maybe he would be in a couple of years, and getting him right now cuts that line. Maybe. So maybe. Max says, people who think baseball need a salary cap need their salary cap. Hold on right here. That's funny. That's funny. Yankees won the World Series in October of 2000, so that's two. Okay, I'm tripping. So one since 2000. Okay, my fault. So what I'm saying is like they since 2000. That's kind of what I've been saying since 2000. So two during this century. My fault. But I'm just saying, for the Yankees, for to be 25 years into a century, and they have two, they're pacing less than one a decade. That is a little, wouldn't you say that's a little abnormal for them historically? Historically, that's a little abnormal for them. It is. It is. And this Dodger machine is just getting crazier. It's just getting crazier and crazier. And they're all in. They will continue to be all in as long, I don't believe the Dodgers will ever have a player better than Shohei Ohtani. Now, will they have teams that'll be incredible? I'm sure they will. But I think Shohei Ohtani is going to go down as the greatest baseball player of all time. So I'm sitting up here like, you're never going to have a player better than the greatest player of all time. People said that about former players of all time, but what are the odds that in the next 50 years, the Dodgers have the next Ohtani? We probably will never see something like this again. So you have to handle that. You have to be all in all the time. All the time. You got no choice. Chris, what up? I see you, Drip Show. Salute, brother. All the time. You have to be in on that. You got no choice. You got no choice. When he deferred $680 million, he gave you no choice to sit on your hands in the offseason. The Dodgers don't have a choice. They cannot punt an offseason. They cannot sit and wait. They have no choice. That man made the commitment. They have no choice. No choice. Lakers Dodgers for life says, all I want for Christmas is Steven Kwan and Dodger Blue. Great defensive bats for average and has great speed. He would fit perfectly for us. It won't cost much. We have the pieces to trade from. Well, it will cost some pricey prospects. It will cost prospects. However, he's a contact guy. Not a lot of power in that bat, but he's a contact guy. He has the speed. He's a solid left fielder. He had a down year last year, so I'm hoping that maybe the price went down slightly. But as I told you guys around the trade deadline last year, I kept telling you guys Cleveland, if not for Class A botching that, I remember these are receipts I have as well. I was telling you guys this around the trade deadline last year. I kept telling you, keep an eye on Cleveland. Something is coming. Now, I wasn't sure if it was Ramirez or Kwan, but it was Class A. And when the situation with Muncy and it looked like he was coming back, I believe it switched from Ramirez to Kwan, and I believe that it was Kwan and Class A. I'm telling you, again, I got the receipts. I did these videos. And Class A got caught up, and it just kind of derailed it. But Steven Kwan is someone I would like, but if I had my choice, I would pick Buxton. But I would take Steven Kwan in a second. The contact guys, we need some contact guys. We absolutely do. We got a lot of swing and miss, a lot of bombers. We need someone who can get that contact going for sure. They can make contact, battle at bats, all that. We most definitely need that. We need that like water, because we had dudes up there just swinging and missing and striking out. Like we can't. We can't have a whole lineup full of that. Can't have a lineup full of that. We need some bullpen pitching out. Starters are straight. Contact for sure. Yeah, we most definitely do. And look, like I said, that Ohtani contract, it is that does not give the Dodgers anywhere near the luxury of chilling in an offseason. Winning 2 in a row and saying we can relax this offseason. Nah, man. When someone defers $680 million, nope, you can't do it. That true hitter, yeah, we need a guy who can really put the ball in play, who can chip away, who can work at bats, who can get up there and work a 6, 7, 8, 9 pitch at bat towards the top of a lineup. We definitely need that. We got a lot of guys who can hit bombs. We have that already. We need some guys who can get guys' pitch counts up. We need a couple guys like that. Now Murakami's not going to be that guy. He's a chucker. He's a swinger. He's a slugger. Repeat incoming will be very hard, but we can get it. Oh yeah, getting one is hard. Being back to back is very difficult. Three-peat in baseball is insanity. Just doesn't happen, man. Just doesn't happen. Not like you would think. Just doesn't happen. If the Dodgers pull that off, we're talking just magic. Just pure magic. Without a doubt, without a shadow of a doubt, pure magic. And they've got the chance to do it. And they've got all the resources to do it. They just got to do it. And I think they're gonna. But Murakami kind of snuck up on me today. I did not see this coming out as a report today. I did not see the Dodgers being in a position to be favored for him. But they're the betting favorites. Like I said, this isn't a reporter saying that they're hearing that the Dodgers are near a deal or they're the favorites. No, someone with a lot of money who knows something believes that Murakami is going to be a Los Angeles Dodger, and they are now the favorites. If you're putting money on it, if you're putting something on it, Murakami is favored to join the Los Angeles Dodgers. So make of that as you will. And we'll see. We'll see. On that note, that's my time for tonight. I appreciate y'all. Thank you guys for tuning in. Drop a like on the video if you have not done so already. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. Make sure to follow all the socials. The socials, EmpireJeffTV everywhere. IG, TikTok, Twitter X, Facebook, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, everywhere. Pull up, support, follow, subscribe, like, share, all that. Appreciate y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your night. Search, appreciate you, brother. Love you. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Have a fantastic Saturday. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow night. Maybe I won't. I'll see you either Saturday or Sunday for sure. I don't know if I'll be back tomorrow, but enjoy the rest of your night. As always, let's go Lakers. Let's go Dodgers. Love y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.